Hi, this is Mike Benoit with an episode of Tyranny Busters. And as some of you may recall, this is based on this quote that you see on your screen, where Jefferson swears upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. And of course, what does he mean by tyranny over the mind of man? Okay, it's mind control, it's propaganda, it is lies, bullshit, and deceit. Okay, so if you want to come out of the matrix, because that's what the matrix is, it's tyranny over the mind of man. Your mind being controlled by someone who has no right to control it. And they do it by lies and propaganda. That's how a mind can be controlled. They can't control your mind if they say put a gun to your head and tell you to do something. No, no, no. You're controlling your mind. But if they lie to you and tell you that XYZ is the truth, you believe it, then, and it's false, there you go. That's a tyranny upon the mind of man. Now, today we're going to address Thomas Knapp's tyranny over the mind of man when he talks about Ron Paul. Now, I have an email exchange with Thomas Knapp over this, and he's saying that Ron Paul is the worst thing that happened to the libertarian movement. Aside from that being BS on the surface, the name libertarian has become a household name because of Ron Paul, because of the last two election cycles, and because everything he's been doing before and since. We have Judge Napolitano, we have Glenn Beck talking about being a libertarian, whether he is or he isn't, John Stossel, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the seeds to all of that came from Ron Paul. Now, he's basing this on, he said this is one of the fundraisers he got from Ron Paul on the first presidential fundraising letter that he received. And he mentions three main boasts. Now, I doubt if these main boasts are verbatim. They're probably listed according to what Thomas Knapp remembers. But aside from that, even if they were verbatim, I'm going to dispel the tyranny that's on his mind. Of course, he won't let it go. But to the people that he's lying to and putting tyranny on their mind, I'm going to say something. I'm going to do something. I'm going to elucidate. Number one, Knapp says, this is what Ron Paul said in a fundraising letter, he was strong against abortion. So what, Thomas Knapp? He may be strong against abortion. He may not even perform an abortion, all right? But that has nothing to do with his political positions. These are his personal viewpoints. I don't care if you're in favor of abortions or against abortions. It's what you would do as a legislator that concerns me. And if you wouldn't respect the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, etc., I can guarantee you one thing. Ron Paul is a strong supporter of the Fully Informed Jury Association, and he would tell people that they have a right to judge whether or not an abortion was murder. And it takes 12 people to convict anybody of murder. So you think you're going to get 12 people to convict somebody of murder if there's an abortion during the first trimester, second trimester maybe even? No. Or in the third trimester, if it was the unborn or the mother, if there had to be a choice in life, it's a mother's choice. All right, so he goes, he was strong against same-sex marriage. He has a personal belief that marriage is between a man and a woman. Fine, that's his belief. He also has been out there in the open that people have a right to contract for whatever they want to contract for and to call it whatever they want to call it. Does this Thomas Knapp mean that Ron Paul would proposed legislation against two people contracting to be joined for life, economically, physically, emotionally? No. Strong against immigration. Well, he's probably strong against illegal immigration. He's certainly not a border fence builder. And Ron Paul is a guy that wants more legal immigration. He's not in favor of illegal drug use because he doesn't want drugs to be illegal. So no, he's not in favor of illegal immigration, but certainly would be in favor of more legal immigration. This is consistent throughout whatever Paul does. So he goes on to make comments about he's very libertarian when he's talking to a libertarian group because he wants them to have their checkbooks so they can give him a check. And then the conservative with the conservative group because he's after their checkbook. And then he's talking to racists. He's real racist. Blah, blah, blah. He also mentioned something about those letters that he had way back when. And he also mentioned something about the pork. Okay. So Ron Paul has never voted for a budget that had any pork in it. I don't think he's voted for any budget because it's all unconstitutional. So if the criminals in the pirate society, if they want, that's what they're doing. They're voting for pork, spreading it around the country. Now we're supposed to expect Ron Paul to say, well, these guys, these pirates, are going to steal money from all over the country. They're going to steal money from my district, and then they're going to have it redistributed to their districts. And Ron Paul is supposed to say, this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to be principled, and I'm not going to put any pork in this budget for my district. I'll just let these thieves steal all the money out of my district and not get any of it back. So, because we've got a pirate society there, he's saying Ron Paul should not participate in the pirate society for his district. Just let the pirates steal from Ron Paul's district. Now, this is just asinine. All right. Now, I'm sure that Thomas Knapp has never participated in this system of plunder. Oh, and he'd be the virtuous, righteous one, and he wouldn't put any pork in there because he'd just say, let Congress steal money from my district. I don't want any of it to come back. So, tyranny busters, see you soon.